I've been left alone with the camera. So it's between you and me, or between me and me. They want me to say something, I guess, about where I've been, what I've done, what I've thought. I was a filmmaker, or at least I considered myself a filmmaker. I had shot and edited a 30-minute student film, a comedy. It did not have a soundtrack yet. I was planning to put it on because the student council had paid $700, which would only give me 1 hour of footage to shoot and develop and make one work print of and no sound. But I knew somehow I would put the sound on eventually, which I did. But I loved my film so much. It was so much what I wanted to do. It was so much better than I expected it to be, that I thought that was my true calling. And I had dreams of filming many stories through the years. But when I took a course in graduate school on computers and found out that you could put a screen, an interactive screen on a computer, I said, wait a minute, that's it. That is the new cinema. The interactive computer screen. I said, that's it. The interactive computer screen will be the new home of the human race. This was 1960. Was I wrong? And I said, it is my duty, my solemn duty as a humanist, as an author, to create the documents of the future, because the techies won't get it right. And I believe that's exactly what happened, because my designs, which I continue to work on, my specific design of visible pages, visibly connected, still does not exist. What I called hypertext in 1965, when I first published the term, had visible connections. It was a complicated system, which I won't explain now, but not an unreasonable one. And it was suited easily to the file systems of that time. But what I dreamt of was jump links, what we now call web links or hyperlinks. But excuse me, you jump from one place to another without knowing where you're going. So it's a diving board into darkness. But also visible connections between pages. Nobody can understand what that means. If you go to my homepage at hyperland.com, there's a video that will show you what visible connections means. So this began in 1960. I can't find the smoking gun. I've gone through some of my notes from the time, but I don't have time to go through many of them. I mean, thousands of notes. I can't find the smoking gun when I thought of these things. But from 1960, I was trying to imagine what the documents of the future would be like that would have new capabilities suited to the screen, but still be usable by humanists. I do know that in January of 1961, I said to Isaac Asimov at a party, Mr. Asimov, soon we'll be reading and writing on computer screens. And the great futurist said, yeah, sure. Cynically. It might have been February of 1961. So my diaries, which recount some of these adventures, are unfortunately, alas, scattered, but they'll presumably all get to Stanford sometime after I croak. But in the meantime, I try to keep access to these things in the hope that I or someone under my direction can find them. Because unfortunately, my great hope was that with computers, it would be easy to keep track of things. Far from it. So I have cartons and cartons and cartons and cartons of papers and file cards and whatnot. So anyway, my designs, when I say my designs, as worked out with colleagues, especially my team in 1979, my designs involved Well, the basic Xanadu design was a publishing system, a writing system, a form of literature, and a form of commerce for content, all of those things in one unified design. So here's how it works. A document is distributed not as a file, but as a list of content and a list of things, of ways to show that content. So we call this in Hollywood an EDL, an edit decision list. It means take these things and put them in this order and present them in this way. So I didn't know that term at the time, but we worked out an EDL system in 1979 where content would be pure text and then the overlays would be the formatting and the presentation of it. So from 1979, my team and I worked on this. Roger Gregory, the director under me, was the most faithful and has worked on it these many years. Unfortunately, we did not finish it in time to get it up ahead of the World Wide Web, although that was our schedule. And so whatever ecology there might have been between the web and ours did not happen. I think we would have had a legitimate place for the things we could do, which was to track characters through the history of documents, to sell content, to do many other things, which now the web is trying, even people in different initiatives on the web are trying to do. But the web format is fundamentally locked, and you cannot do what I consider the most basic thing, which is to show visible connections between pages. And that you can see on my videos, especially if you look at hyperland.com. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
So every time the great